Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2025-26 NPJ Portland New Parent Club meeting. My name is Nate Gorman. I am the club director here at NPJ Portland. And this is a meeting for new parents and returning parents that want to get some information about the upcoming season, understand how we structure things within our program, and getting geared up for tryouts coming up here in November. So without any further ado, let's get started. You'll see in front of you on the screen our management team for both NPJ and NPJ Portland. Our senior director and founder is Adam Ellis. Alyssa Whitney is our director of operations. Mike G is our director of volleyball. And then here in Portland, who you'll deal with more regularly, are myself, Nate Gorman, as the Portland Club Director, and Eric Librant as the Director of Volleyball here in Portland. I coach the 16 national team here in Portland for this year, and Eric will be coaching the 17 national team here in Portland this year. North Pacific Juniors was founded on the simple idea of helping athletes use sports to get to where they want to go in life. Ultimately, we want our kids to have fun and play in a supportive, safe family environment. This kind of focus is at our core at NPJ and something we are proud to provide to all of our players at all age levels. What is our NPJ mission? Our mission is to provide a healthy, positive, and rewarding experience for all players, coaches, and family members. At NPJ, we are focused on helping every player build the tools they'll need to succeed both on and off the court. So why NPJ? What makes us different? What makes us better? We're the number one club in the Pacific Northwest with locations in Salem, Bend, Seattle, and Portland. And teams on all of those areas play nationally at the highest level possible. We have a very innovative coaching method called an ecological coaching methodology, which allows us to help train our players in game-like environments that makes them very adaptable to a lot of situations and makes that player a better volleyball player and not just a player who knows how to drill well. This has proven to be very effective across all of our age groups and has helped us compete at the highest level nationally. We have an elite level coaching staff. Many of our coaches are high school and or college coaches, and we train all of our coaches in this ecological coaching methodology so that coaching structure can be the same from the top team all the way down to the lower level teams in each age group. We have a complete recruiting service. We take you from A to Z in the recruiting process, and we are so excited to be able to help all these players that want to play in college be able to play in college. As you can see, these are banners we have hanging up in our Salem facility, but every year we sign more and more players to college. In fact, last year in 2025, the graduating year of 2025, we had 45 athletes signed to play in college. All of our teams get national level exposure, whether that be traveling across the country to some of these teams, or some of our color teams, our 3s, 4s, and 5s. They get national level exposure playing in tournaments close to home because a lot of big tournaments are played in Seattle and here in Portland, and teams come from all over the country to play in those tournaments, as well as coaches who are looking at players for recruiting purposes. They're also coming to those tournaments. We have fantastic practice facilities, as you can see by our list later, but we use Rose City Futsal as our primary practice facility. Most teams will get at least one practice there. And then we have a lot of satellite facilities, which are also great, which teams will be situated there. We'll also talk a little bit more about our practice facilities later in this presentation. And finally, our focus is on fun and family. It's something we pride ourselves on here at NPJ, and we want our kids, our coaches, our families to have fun, to interact, to feel like one big family where you can go in to a high school tournament and see people that you've played with or are in the program and say hello, or coaches. It's all very important to us that we have one big focus on fun and family. So here in Portland, what's our team structure? Here in Portland, we will take 28 or more teams. Last year we had 27 teams. This year we're structured to take 28 to 30 teams. And that structure gets broken up across the age groups. We do both even and odd age groups, all the way from 11U to 18U. Here within the SEVA region, teams have to play in the even age groups, so 18U, 16U, 14U, and 12U. But we like to take teams on those odd age groups because they can go play in national tournaments, and it helps us facilitate bringing kids up through the program together. So we also do 11, 13, 15, and 17. As you can see here, the bulk of teams we typically take is 16U, 15U, 14U, and 13U. But we'll take 2 to 3 teams at 12U. Depending on our age ranges at our 12U tryouts, we'll take 1 to 2 teams at 11U. And then at 18U, we'll take 2 to 3 teams, and 17U, we'll take 1 to 2 teams. At NPJ, we focus on all of our team success, right? We know that many of you, when you're looking at programs, you place a very high priority on making a top ones team where you're going to play. That's a national team for us. But given the depth of our program, so many of our twos and our threes teams finish higher than the other ones teams from other programs. And that's just a testament to the level of players that we have in our program and the way we coach them and how they're able to perform both here in regional tournaments like SEVA and Power League, but then also nationally. Our team structure looks like this. Our ones teams in each age group are national teams. It's like NPJ Portland 17 national. And they are the top team in each age group. They compete at the highest level on a national level. They're the most competitive, and they have a goal of winning and playing at a very high level. Our twos teams used to be elite in the older age groups, but now we've standardized that across all of our age groups. So our twos teams are called Premier. They are the second team in each age group. They also compete on a larger regional national level. They're very competitive, and the goal is on winning and placing high within SEVA and national rankings. And then as we tier down, our threes teams are our black teams. Our orange team is our fours team. And our white team is our fives team. And if we take a six team in an age group, that will be a royal. And as we tier down from black to orange to white, they become their schedules become a little bit more regional, and our focus is a little bit more on playing time and getting all the players built up in that age group, and trying to make sure that we are getting everybody on the court during a tournament as best we can. And then, of course, on top of all of that is our NPJ Forefront 18-1s team. They are the top team in our program and represent the best of the best. These are players that are coming from Seattle and Portland and Salem and Bend and even some other areas around the country to play on this team. And it is the team at the forefront of our program, and we're continually ranked in the top 10 nationally. Practices. What do our practices look like? Our team practices for all teams, regardless of age level and regardless of team structure level, will be 2 times a week for 2 hours each. Many places will try and practice 3 times a week. or maybe even 4, but we do not practice more than that because we believe that school and family time is very important to stay balanced. Here in Portland, as I said earlier, we use the practice facility here at Rose City Futsal quite a bit, but because of the number of teams we take, we can't all practice here every single time. But what we do try and do is make sure that our 12U through 14U team practices are from that 5 to 7 time frame. I know if one of your practices at Tigard Methodist, it'll be 5:30 to 7:30, but that's still in that 5 to 7 time frame. And then all of our 15U to 18U practices are generally going to be in that 7 to 9 p.m. time frame. There are 1 or 2 facilities where we have to practice a little bit later than that until basketball gets out, but that's generally that time as well. And this is really important. Practice schedules and locations for those practice schedules will be announced the week following the 15U and 18U tryouts. So until we know how many teams we have and how we're going to divide that up over our gym structure, we don't put out those schedules. But we will guarantee you that your practices will be on a weeknight, not on a weekend. And once we set that schedule, it's not going to change. Your team isn't going to be moved around from this location to that location or this time to that time. Once they're set, they're set. Occasionally there's a closure or something like that, and we have to change one single practice. But for the whole season, your practices will be set. And practices after tryouts won't start until the week of December 1st. So there'll be tryouts. We'll be gathering all of the things that we need to from you, making sure that everything's in order. And then right after Thanksgiving is when our first practices will start. As I had said earlier, our practice locations are Rose City Futsal West, which is our primary practice facility. We have 5 courts there. And we try our best to make sure every team has at least 1 practice there. We also use Riverdale High School, Sanders Court, which is out in Sherwood, Tigard Methodist, which is just up the road from Rose City Futsal, and Twilight Arena, which is over in the Lake Oswego area. And those are our satellite locations. Nobody's practice will be anywhere but one of those 5 locations. Tournaments. Tournament playing time is not guaranteed. Playing time is earned. Okay? We don't want you going in with the expectation that everyone's going to get equal playing time. At the club level, playing time is earned. So equal playing time is never guaranteed on any team or at any event. Our philosophy is to put the 6 players that play the best together on the court at any given time. Okay, that's up to the coach's determination, and it can change from set to set, from game to game, from tournament to tournament. Those aren't set in stone, but our coaches are trying to win, and they're going to put the players that play the best together on the court at any given time. You're not paying for your playing time, you're paying for training. That's the way we view the structure here at NPJ. If you would like to view team schedules and dues, you can scan this QR code here. I'll leave it on the screen for a moment. This will take you to a page where you can see each team listed in a tab. And then if you click on that team, it'll show you the tournament schedule and the dues for that particular team, so you can have an idea ahead of time coming into tryouts what you might be in for. So, club dues. This is really important. Your club dues pay for everything associated with your NPJ's team's expenses except all athlete travel. Now, this is new for this year, so if you're a returning parent, at the higher ages, we used to include hotel rooms for the players. We're not doing that anymore because we're trying to help save on club dues for the parents and the families. and give you more opportunities to use your own travel points and that sort of a thing. So club dues pay for Power League and regionals, other tournament entry fees, practice facilities, Nike uniform package. That is a separate payment, but when you see your gross dues, that's included in the gross dues, but you'll make that as a separate payment because of the way we've structured it. Coaches' salaries, coaches' travel expenses, ball and equipment, administrative fees, etc. Travel, as I alluded to this a little earlier, our new 2025 travel policy is hotels and transportation are not included in your dues. This is for all age groups across the board. Families are responsible for both transportation and lodging for their athlete for all tournaments. Now, if you don't travel out of state, that's usually not an issue, but just know that going into it, that for every tournament, your hotel and your transportation, whether that every airfare or driving, is something that you have to arrange. So for most of our out-of-state travel tournaments, they're what's called a stay-and-play tournament, which means we have to, as an organization, we have to book our hotels through their system because that validates whether we are able to play in the tournament. And there's a whole series of reasons why that happens, but most of those tournaments are at the convention centers in these large cities. The convention centers will give the tournament organizers a discount on renting that, but they have to have the ability to show that because the tournament is hosted there, they're making an economic impact on the city. And that's where this comes from, this stay and play tournament, which means that we have to book our hotel rooms at specific hotels through this payment portal. And so for all these stay and play tournaments, NPJ has reserved a block of rooms for players and families. And once tryouts are finished, teams are formed, you know what team you're going to be on. We'll supply that booking information, right, for all the teams that are attending that event. And then you'll be responsible for booking your own travel from the block, okay? So for stay and play tournaments, families are required to book accommodations for themselves and their player from the NPJ room block provided. This is really important. We've had seasons where we get into the season, parents are trying to make other arrangements and teams aren't validated, and then we have a problem. So this is a pretty important point that we want to try and hit home. You have to book your accommodations through the room block that we provided. For non-stay and play hotels, those are somewhat more local-ish tournaments. Seattle, Salem, Eugene, here in Portland. We will also have an NPJ room block that you can book through. Those are usually a discounted hotel room, and we will be giving those out as we get through tryouts and everybody knows what team they're on. Some of those non-stay and play tournaments are the Seattle Kickoff, Oregon Kickoff, Pres Day Pacific, March Mania, PNW Classic, SEVA Regionals. That has a little bit more flexibility, but we do highly recommend you book through our block because then we can guarantee, the rate will be right, you'll be in the right location, the rooms will be booked for the right days, all those things. Airfare, when we're talking travel, if you're a national or premier team that travels out of state, that requires a flight, you're also responsible for booking those flights. We don't have like a flight block that you can book from, but what we'll do is post the coach's flight information on the team page once you've made the team. And it will be your responsibility to book your player and any family members that are attending. You can book on that same flight. You can book on a completely different flight, but it'll show you what dates you need to kind of arrive on, and then also what the coaches are flying on in case you want to be on the same flight. If players are traveling without parents, we suggest you arrange air travel and housing with another family on the team. Okay, and this gets us to our athlete supervision rule. If you're not attending the tournament, it's your job to arrange for your athlete to stay with and be supervised by another family on the team. That's your responsibility to make those arrangements directly. We're not going to make those arrangements for you, and you can't ask the coach to be in charge of your player. Okay, that's not their job is to coach and not babysit. So make sure that you found somebody that can help with that process on the team. If you don't know many people from the team, like I said earlier in the presentation, we are one big family, and you'll realize that once you get onto the team and get to know the other parents and the coaches. And it shouldn't take long for you to find somebody that you trust and that your athlete can travel with to these tournaments. The Nike uniform package, we have a head to ankle deal with Nike. Our gear package is a separate cost, as I alluded to earlier, but when you look at your gross club dues, when you go look at each team's club dues, it's part of that cost, but it's separate. So you'll pay for your club dues, and then you'll pay for your uniform package because it comes from a separate company. And the beauty of that is that uniforms will be shipped directly to your home, and you can add any fan gear that you want to that order instead of all of that product being shipped to us, and then we have to find a way to hand it out at practice. This just makes it very seamless, and you're just getting exactly what was ordered. In that uniform package is jerseys, shorts, knee pads, warm-up jacket, warm-up pants, and a backpack. So, tryouts. That's the reason you're all here. Find out what we need to do for tryouts. Tryouts here in Portland are scheduled for November 9th for 12U through 14U. And that's 7:30 to 9:30 at Riverdale High School for the 11 to 12U tryouts. And then 11:30 to 6:30 p.m. for the 13U and 14U tryouts here at Rose City Futsal West. Many of you ask why we need so much time. It's because of the sheer amount of players in the 13 and 14, and as you'll see in the 15 and 16, that we need to evaluate effectively over the course of that tryout time. The 13 and 14Us will have a little lunch break in the middle, and it'll take some time to check everybody in. There'll probably be over 100 people trying out, but we really do need all of that time, and you'll see that on tryout day. 15U through 18U is scheduled for November 16th. Those are both the Sundays, November 9th, November 16th. 17 and 18U will be 7:30 to 9:30 at Riverdale High School, and 15U to 16U will be 11:30 to 6:30 at Rose City Futsal West. Things you need to bring with you to tryouts. You must bring a valid USA membership confirmation that can be digital. So once you get that, you can bring that and show it to us on your phone. You need a hard copy printed and filled out of your USA medical release form. And you need to make sure that you have a smartphone for QR codes and payments. That's generally how we handle most of those things. And then you'll be able to pay with a credit card through those QR codes on your phone. And then it's really important that you register ahead of time. One, that helps us know how many kids we're going to have in the gym and how many coaches we need to help evaluate. But also, it's important that walk-ups won't be allowed. So if you're going to register, make sure you've done so ahead of time and you're not doing it morning of or trying to do it at the desk, because check-in will be long and it will take us a long time to get everybody checked in. So make sure you register online. At tryouts, we're going to run players through all of the drills that we do. There'll be breaks. We'll go back on the court. We'll run them through more. Coaches will meet. But at the conclusion of those tryouts, players will be given an offer folder if they have made a team. The offer folder will specify which team they've made, and will have a whole series of steps they need to do, and you need to do, more importantly, you need to do, to accept that offer. We do the best we can to make sure everyone makes a team. We want as many players to play that want to play, but of course the constraint is gym space and available coaches. So sometimes we do need to make cuts. If it's a small number, we make them alternates, because inevitably as we offer teams, players will decline and more players will move up in that slot. We offer from the 1s down to the 2s, to the 3s, to the 4s, to the 5s. And if those alternates can then be given a spot, then we want everybody to be able to play. So that might be something that happens on tryouts day, but there'll be a meeting at the start of tryouts, and we'll let everybody know kind of what numbers look like and if we think we have to make any cuts that day. The commitment policy, this is very important, but we'll also go over this on tryout day. NPJ players who receive an official team offer at tryouts must decide if you're accepting the offer prior to leaving tryouts. Like I said, we'll go over this again at tryouts, that pre-meeting. But if you leave the building and you have not let us know whether you accept or decline that team offer, that will be given to another player who is either next up from a team below or on an alternate list. So just make sure that you do not leave the gym without letting us know whether you're accepting and going through all the acceptance process, or if you are declining the offer, and we can give that to somebody else. So to accept an offer, to officially accept the offer, players and parents need to complete the following items that will be given to you in your welcome packet. 1, you need to sign the SIVA commitment letter and turn it in. This is a hard copy. It'll be in your binder. Scan the payment QR code and pay the dues deposit, and it automatically sets up your next 4 payments. Go to the area that we have set up to try on uniforms and try them on. That's super important. Many people just try and guess on sizes, and then when they come, they're the wrong sizes, and it takes weeks and weeks and weeks to get a new uniform made, and it's expensive. You need to scan the QR code for those uniforms and fill out those sizes and pay for those uniforms, and then take all of that stuff to the front desk and check out and turn it all in. We check and make sure everything is right. We mark you off as paid, and then you can leave the building. It's a lot to go through, but it's important because we have so many players and so many teams that we follow this to the letter. Your dues payments are comprised of an upfront deposit followed by 4 monthly payments, January through April. The initial dues deposit can be paid through our online system, as well as setting up all the auto payments, as I was just talking about. You can do it that way, or you can pay in full, just in one amount, and you get $150 off your dues for paying in one full amount. We understand that club volleyball can be expensive for families, and we can extend some payment options within reason, and there has to be a pretty valid reason for that if you're in need of assistance. So at tryouts, if you're somebody that needs maybe the 4 payments to be pushed out to 6 or something along those lines, please come talk to either myself or Alyssa Whitney. She will be at Portland tryouts if you fit that need, and we will help try and take care of you the best we can. Throughout the season, we have a number of fundraising opportunities for players that want to help pay some of their club dues. Those things, we have a sport fee fundraiser, which is going right now, which will be in your tryout packet when you make a team. We have a wreath fundraiser around Christmas and a flower fundraiser around Mother's Day. And there's also the SIVA scholarship application, which is separate from us, but you can apply for that, and they give out grants to players in need at the beginning of the season. I'm not sure when the cutoff is for that, but please do look on the SIVA website, and they will have that posted for sure. So that concludes the presentation. We're really excited for the upcoming season to get started. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're happy to answer those questions, if anything that wasn't answered here in the presentation. And make sure you register for tryouts. As I said earlier, it helps us plan, it helps us get ready, it helps makes tryouts, which as you can see from 11:30 to 6:30 are very long. It helps us make those efficient as possible. Thank you very much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you all at tryouts.